Good evening. You're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, for TVS Nightline. We begin with this story. 6-year-olds entering Year 1 beginning in 2027 are not expected to face academic issues. Sarawak Education, Innovation and Talent Development Minister Datuk Sri Roland Sagawi says daily schooling would remain largely unchanged. According to Roland, early enrollment in preschool has helped strengthen children's social skill.
Of course, nobody can meet all sorts of circumstances because of many other factors. So, but I think majority of people should be ready for it. Also, because you are a working population, you like your children to be also not with you all the time. You cannot bring to office. Then, so, but that doesn't mean that you share the responsibility. But then, what is happening now, the reality is you also would want other people to look after them. Not just as childminders, but also to give them some exposure to education.
Meanwhile, Roland says the Year 4 centralised assessment under the 2026 to 2035 National Education Plan is aimed at early detection of student strengths and weaknesses in core skills. The assessment, he explains, will not disrupt the evaluation of the Sarawak Dual Language Education Programme.
We will still proceed with it. That one will be in primary 6. Because we also have other reasons why we do that. Like for entry into our international schools, we are using that result. I think that's why the federal government also do it at Form 3. So it doesn't affect our UP, DLP.
Police confirmed that the deaths of a married couple found in Sri Aman involve no third-party foul play, with investigators linking the incident to depression suffered by the husband. Sarawak Police Commissioner Dato' Muhammad Zainal Abdullah says statements from family, friends and colleagues reveal that the husband, a 45-year-old headmaster, had been struggling with depression following his transfer to a school in Lubuk Antu. Chemical analysis of the sharp weapon recovered at the scene shows no foreign DNA, further supporting the police belief that no third party was involved. Muhammad Zainal says investigators also find no signs of forced entry or missing belongings at the house, ruling out robbery as a motive.
Jadi saya boleh simpulkan kes ini telah pun selesai dan hasil daripada siasatan kita, senjata yang digunakan dalam kes ini hanya ada DNA untuk kedua-dua mangsa saja, tidak ada DNA asing. Dan juga seperti mana saya maklumkan sebelum ini, tidak ada tanda-tanda ataupun kesan-kesan pecah rumah ataupun barang-barang berharga hilang ataupun disambut. Jadi inferen yang kita boleh buat bahawa kejadian ini, pembunuhan ini hanya melibatkan mangsa berdua itulah, iaitu suami dan isteri.
The police believe no further investigation is required at this stage except for forensic analysis of the victim's mobile phones, which may provide additional insight into the motive.
Tetapi setakat ini apa yang kita dapat simpulkan bahawa mangsa si suami ini didapati sejak kebelakangan ini apabila dia ditukarkan menjadi guru besar di Lubuk Antu berdasarkan kepada kenyataan ataupun keterangan-keterangan saksi-saksi, beliau mengalami kemurungan. Itu yang dapat kita simpulkan. Tetapi mungkin jika kita telah mendapat laporan daripada forensik berkaitan dengan telefon bimbit, mungkin kita boleh mengetahui lebih lanjut lagi sekiranya ada perkara-perkara yang boleh membantu kita mewujudkan apakah sebenar motif kematian kedua-dua mangsa inilah.
The couple were found dead at their home in Taman Mutiara, Jalan Brayun, Sri Aman on January 14. Post-mortem results confirm the husband died from injuries to the neck and chest, while his wife, a nurse, succumbed to a fatal neck injury. A man bearing the title Tan Sri was among two individuals arrested by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC of suspected involvement in a large-scale investment fraud exceeding 300 million ringgit in Kuala Lumpur. MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azambaki says the suspects are believed to be linked to fraudulent activities under the Commission's jurisdiction. The 60-year-old suspect, a former company director and Islamic finance expert, is alleged to have misused 6 million ringgit in investor funds. The misappropriation is believed to extend to hundreds of millions without investors' knowledge. MACC confirms the suspect, along with a female director in her 50s, was taken into custody to assist investigations into the massive investor fraud. The male suspect is being remanded for 4 days until Sunday, following an order by Magistrate Izrin Zakaria at Putrajaya Magistrate Court. The case is being investigated under Section 18 of the 2009 MACC Act. The Malaysian ringgit touched a key psychological level today, trading at 3.99 against the US dollar. The local currency last saw similar levels on June 18, 2018, when it traded between 3.996 and 3.999 versus the greenback. Economists had earlier predicted that the ringgit would remain range-bound during the first half of 2026 before strengthening later in the year. Analysts says Malaysia's positive economic outlook, along with expected rate cuts by the US Federal Reserve, could continue to support the local currency. The ringgit's rally also reflects global market trends that are putting pressure on the greenback, making Malaysia's currency more attractive to investors. Market watchers believe that further Fed rate cuts and other US-centric developments may push the ringgit even stronger against the dollar through 2026.
Bersedia atau tidak, inilah permulaannya. Aksi sengit, tebaran setiap detik secara langsung dan eksklusif di TVS 122 dan TVS Inspire.
Food, fun, and culture. Discover the beauty of traditions and the rich cultures of Malaysia. Experience Malaysia like never before.
Don't let the world pass you by.
Only on TVS 122 and TVS Inspire.
Welcome back. Malaysia says it finds it very hard to give early support to the Gaza Board of Peace established to mediate the conflict in the region. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim says any recognition or endorsement of the board led by US President Donald Trump can only be considered if there is a clear commitment to halt all violent attacks by the Israeli Zionist regime against Gaza.
Ikuti dan kita agak sukar melainkan ada jaminan yang betul-betul baik dan tegas soal rakyat Gaza dan Palestin, pengiktirafan, menghentikan sama sekali serangan ganas dan biadab oleh rejim Israel. Ini belum dilakukan, jadi kita sukar untuk memberikan dukungan awal.
The Gaza Board of Peace, initiated by Trump, refers to a proposed international mechanism or platform aimed at promoting peaceful resolution through negotiations, joint recognition, and humanitarian security guarantees. However, the proposal has drawn mixed reactions, particularly from countries seeking clear assurance on the halting of violence and the protection of Palestinians' rights. On to world news, Ukrainian, US and Russian officials will meet in the United Arab Emirates on Friday, following useful talks between President Vladimir Putin and US envoy Steve Witkoff in Moscow. Diplomatic efforts to end the Ukraine war have gained pace in recent months, though Moscow and Kiev remain at odds over the key issue of territory in a post-war settlement. Witkoff and the US team are next flying to Abu Dhabi, where talks are expected to continue. A Russian delegation headed by General Igor Kostyukov, director of Russia's GRU military intelligence agency, will also head there in the coming hours. Further details of the talks in the United Arab Emirates have not been released, and it is not clear whether Russian and Ukrainian officials will meet face-to-face. French Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu today survived a no-confidence vote following his move to force his budget through Parliament in a symbolic victory with more such challenges expected. Lecornu on Tuesday used a constitutional power to ram part of the 2026 budget through Parliament without a vote, after making concessions to gain the backing of the Socialists.
The key swing group showed their support on Friday by blocking the no-confidence motion filed by the hard left from passing. Lecornu will have to use the same constitutional power twice more to enact the full budget into law, exposing Lecornu to further no-confidence motions. The move marked a rollback for Lecornu, who pledged last year to seek Parliament's approval in a bid to avoid the fate of his two predecessors who were ousted over budget negotiations. But on Monday, Lecornu conceded with a certain degree of regret and a bit of bitterness that he had to invoke the power to push the budget through.
Je n'ai pas engagé la responsabilité du gouvernement pour contourner les institutions de la Ve République. Je l'ai au contraire fait pour les protéger. Mais aucune institution, aussi solide soit-elle, ne peut fonctionner durablement si celles et ceux qui l'incarnent renoncent à leurs propres responsabilités. Les recours à l'article 49 alinéa 3 ne pourront plus être utilisés demain comme avant. Ils ne pourront plus être un réflexe. Ils ne pourront plus être une facilité. Ils ne pourront plus être ce qu'ils ont été. Ils seront désormais ce qu'ils sont par leur nature initiale, l'ultime réponse à l'impossibilité de conclure après avoir de bonne foi tout essayé.
After the second part of the budget was rammed through, the budget text must then be reviewed by the Upper House Senate before returning to the National Assembly for final adoption.
Get all the updates you need in all-in-one app. TVS Inspire brings you live updates on events, news and programs. Available now on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. TVS Inspire all on your screen anytime, anywhere. Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching and have a good night.